Jake Paul got problems right here. So I mean he's doing good for what he's doing. Like I said, for what he's doing. It is what it is. He's just
Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated legend of the boxing world, just leaked his most jaw-dropping prediction for the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul spectacle, and trust me, he didn't just throw a dart at a board and pick a winner for the fun of it. No, this man has been in the business of breaking jaws and dodging punches for over 20 years, so when he talks, he's speaking from a place of painfully earned wisdom.
But when I'm betting on real fighters. Not saying that they're not real fighters. They're novice professional fighters. But when I'm betting on fights, I'm betting on fights that's...
Analysis comes packed with cold hard reasons, and let's be real, Floyd's not exactly known for sugarcoating, so believe me, it's not looking good for Jake, I swear. But hey, don't take my word for it, Floyd's prediction is here with all the receipts you could want. But you might ask, how can Floyd Mayweather be so sure about this? Well, brace yourself, because the leaked footage tells a story that's almost too wild to believe. Picture Mike Tyson. Yeah, the same guy who used to steamroll his opponents with pure raw aggression, now training with a deadly calm precision under Mayweather's watchful eye.
It's different when you're at the highest level. And Roy Jones can attest to that. Clarissa and so many other fighters. Once you get in there with a real fighter, that can really...
It's not just Iron Mike flinging haymakers like he's in a 90s highlight reel. No, Tyson was a whole different beast, this time one who was clearly taking notes from the defensive genius himself. Mayweather wasn't just standing around for the fun of it, he was teaching Tyson the art of controlled destruction. We're talking about Mike pacing himself, calculating his footwork, and moving with a purpose so strategic it would make a chess grandmaster jealous. Tyson wasn't just swinging for the fences, he was biding his time, landing hits with a scary sort of surgical precision and weaving around the ring like someone who actually wants to survive the later rounds.
So he got to be able to enjoy it while he can. Is he doing good? Absolutely. For who he's fighting. Guys, 50 guys, 40. Of course. Do he want to fight me? Of course. I'm almost 50 years old, so of course he wants to.
And here's the thing, word is that when Jake Paul got wind of this footage, his vado cracked like an overripe avocado. Sources claim he looked more rattled than a leaf in a hurricane. I mean, the guy's used to trash-talking his way into fights and banking on the idea that Tyson would be some washed-up relic from the past. But this was no nostalgic Mike Tyson. This was a Mayweather-enhanced defense-ready Mike Tyson. And let's be real, Paul's not exactly the second coming of Muhammad Ali. So seeing Tyson suddenly become disciplined and strategic must have been a soul-crushing reality check.
I commend Tyson because he's one of the guys that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. He's a legendary champion. And the only thing I have to say about Mike Tyson is everyone is always trying to judge Mike Tyson.
Then comes Mayweather's jaw-dropping prediction. The man straight up said that if Tyson can pace himself and fully embrace these new defensive techniques, Jake Paul is basically toast gone finished, and Floyd doesn't make claims like that just to hear himself talk. He's one of the best boxing brains out there. But it does beg the question, can Jake Paul's youth and cardio save him, or is he about to become the latest victim of Tyson's newfound, terrifyingly calculated violence?
Terrifying as a boxer.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Even when I met him at one point backstage at the stadium at a fight, and I was like, I'm still terrified of you from watching you, But then that guy he started becoming, where he became more explorative and he was looking into what, the meaning of life and, having a smoke every now and then and stuff like that, I was like, I'm enjoying this, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm liking the evolution.
Now, if you thought Tyson's training was just intense and technical, buckle up, because it gets even more outrageous. The man is out there leaning into some of the most bizarre, almost hallucinatory workout methods you could imagine. He's not pounding protein shakes or meditating with crystals. He's using psilocybin mushrooms and cannabis to fuel his workouts. Tyson openly talks about how he uses mushrooms to feel, in his own words, beautiful, while training, claiming it gives him an otherworldly mental and physical boost. Just imagine, scratch that. Remember, we're not using imagine, picture the reality of Iron Mick, an already frightening presence, getting even more charged up with a little psychedelic kick to the brain.
The best shape and the strongest he's ever been is what his coaches are saying. And so I know on November 15th it's going to be a war, but I just plan on outboxing him and showing the world what I'm capable of and coming alive in the moment and knocking out one of the best ever.
And this isn't just a fun, wacky side note. Tyson has fought lifelong battles with addiction, and he describes himself as a junkie, someone who needs an edge, a high, something to latch on to, but instead of letting his demons destroy him, he's harnessed this need and transformed it into something almost spiritual. It's both raw and unnerving, the idea that he's using these substances not to escape reality, but to sharpen his focus and push his body beyond its limits. Is it genius? Is it insanity? Or maybe a terrifying blend of both?
Beautiful. Look where you left it when you finish.
So here, we are left wondering if these psychedelic-infused training sessions give Tyson a legitimate advantage or set him up for disaster. It's a risky game, no question, and one that might come crashing down under the bright lights of a real fight. Yet Tyson is betting on it hard. He's not just showing up to wave to the crowd, he's bringing a whole new, unpredictable version of himself to the ring. And honestly, that could be the wild card that turns this fight into an unforgettable, jaw-dropping event.
8-year-old men are 58-year-old men, no matter what they look like. And Jake Paul is a 28-year-old athlete in the prime of his life. You know, it's a real.
I mean, if you just do it to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Me at 60 versus me at.
The numbers don't lie, and in the circus that is Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul's stats are more brutally honest than any trash talk out there. Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer who loves reminding the world how hard he punches, averages 34. 7 punches per round sounds decent, right? But when you stack that up against Tyson's latest performance, only 24. 1 punches per round in that wee fest of an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020.
Different when you're at the highest level. And Roy Jones can contest to that. Clarissa and so many other fighters. You know, once you get in there with a real fighter, that can really.
Tyson didn't land a single jab in both the 2nd and 8th rounds of that fight against Jones 0 and ADA. Zilch for a guy who used to set up devastating bombs with pinpoint jabs. That's not just a weakness, it's practically a giant neon sign flashing trouble ahead. Meanwhile, Jake Paul, despite being dismissed by every boxing purist on the planet, has been sneaking in some actual skill development. He's connecting with an average of 18. 3 jabs per round, using that jab to control distance and frustrate his opponents. No, he's not rewriting the book of boxing greatness. The dude knows how to use his tools effectively, and when you're young, athletic, and a joker, a good jab is a game changer.
Strongest I've ever seen you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the strongest I've ever. And I know you since you're 13. I think this impressed the shit out of me. Nothing impresses me. You know, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't lie.
This is the strongest I've ever seen you. Yeah, the strongest I've ever. And I know you since you're 13. I think this is so. This impressed the __. Out of me, nothing impresses me. You know, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't lie. But let's not kid ourselves. Tyson's power still deserves its own chapter in boxing horror stories. Even at 58, he's got the kind of knockout force that